There's an intro. Hello, Charles. Good to see you again.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Rebekka.
Hello,
nice to see you. Got your nice geography teacher jumper on today.
It's my fat guy jumper. So, yeah.
Oh, did you put it on? You had your shirt on. It was lovely.
Did you?
Got me cold.
Did you try that jumper on I gave you? This is great podcast.
Yeah.
Did you try it on? Did it work?
To an extent.
Oh, right. You'd be cleaning the tables with it.
It's one of those ones I'm like, yeah, that's in the pile when I eventually slim down.
What's the Rebekka? You're fashionable. What are the main fashion brands now? Is it all still Gucci or something? Is there a cool brand?
Well, I'm not very much into Gucci.
Okay.
I like Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. But I like spending money.
What's the grotesque one? Where it's got weird. Is it Armani? It's got pictures like flowery gold. Give me got Giorgio Armani. No, it might.
You mean
be.
Versace?
Versace.
I actually used to work
yeah.
for Versace. Ooh, that's how I met Jamie Foxx. By the way,
Who's Jamie Foxx?
You don't know? You don't know?
Oh, rings a bell. I don't know.
Jamie Foxx, actor. He played. He can sing. He's a comedian. He's a really
The black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. I don't know his face.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Did he play the blind?
Ray?
Yeah, he played.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Was
Yeah, I
the
didn't
first
see
movie
it.
I saw him in.
Okay.
And
You met him doing what?
It was retail actually. He walked in. It was.
Oh, you weren't working.
Yeah. I was working, and I was like, oh my gosh. I need to be professional here.
Right, yeah.
But we ended up talking, and he asked for my Instagram, and then we ended up.
See, there's nothing wrong with that.
DMs.
Oh, right, okay.
This is what I love about London. You never know who you're going to run into. And
But he didn't say, here's my number. He said, here's my Instagram.
Yeah, he asked for my Instagram.
Right, so you're more trendy than I am. Is that a new thing? Like, you don't give a number, you give your Instagram?
Yeah. Normally it is.
Right.
Or sometimes a guy asks, like, oh, can I get your Instagram or can I get your number? But normally Instagram, and then you never talk again. Like, even though you match on it.
But they're still trying it on or not? They're just asking for you?
Maybe. Sometimes they're.
But they don't follow it up. So it can't be they're trying it on.
It really depends on the guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes they might, and then I'm like.
But if somebody said, can I have your Instagram? I'd just go, you can have a number or you're not having Instagram. What are you talking about?
You get this a lot from guys.
It sounds a bit naff. It sounds a bit trendy.
I think it's nice with the number thing, though, to be honest.
It's a bit more grown up, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. That you can tell. You can tell.
Can I have your Instagram? Why do you think I've got Instagram?
Add me on Facebook.
Mm.
Somebody asked me, what your social media? I said, I'm not on any social media. I just want to end the conversation. That's
But it's like a private thing in a way. It depends on what you use it for, but.
Yeah. I mean, most people I know just use it for work stuff, so it doesn't even work.
That's what I normally do.
Because it's sort of, if you dig into it, it's sort of like saying, can I have a look at your photographic background?
So can I judge you first?
Yeah, I think there's some of that in it. Yeah.
I see your portfolio, basically.
Yeah.
No, but sometimes a lot of people, if they don't have like dating apps, they use Instagram as a dating platform, I would say. I don't do, but...
Somebody the other day told me on LinkedIn they were getting harassed by guys, so she took her profile down.
Really?
Yeah, someone they've known for a while. She's very pretty, but she said, I'll take, because guys just keep emailing me. And when she did that, I went, oh, for fuck. I hadn't even thought that, like, LinkedIn. Yeah, it's like they keep pushing the envelope, like, worse and worse.
Gosh.
But I thought, oh, she has to take a photograph down, so she can't.
Like, I've got to say, there is that thing. Guys are all right, but there is that thing where, like...
A few of them ruin it, that's the thing.
They would fall in love with a piece of wood that maybe looked a bit...
Temporarily, by the way, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they just like... And they'd be like...
Novelty.
They go, do you think that bit of wood likes me?
Yeah.
But isn't like the chase, it was like, ooh, she doesn't want me, but I'll try and get her. Isn't it that a thing? Yeah,
I think that's all it is. Because that's the type of person that if they got that person, they'd be doing it again. It's not like the first person.
To quote James Caan, some guys like a challenge, not me.
No, no chase, just lay on the table for me.
Good way of putting it.
Well, Bill Maher, do you remember Bill Maher, the comedian, stand-up comedian? He said he had his good quote because he always gets in trouble that people don't like him because he never got married. And he said, look, I'm very wealthy and I'm 70. I just hire prostitutes. He said, it's great. But he said he's got this thing of, he said in his stand-up, he says, if a guy's not married by 70, he's either gay or he likes women too much. And he's sort of respectful in a way. He's going, no, I like women too much to get married, or they're gay. One of the two. I thought, well, that sort of works.
Well, it makes sense.
I don't want to get married because I respect women. I like women. I don't want to,
and he doesn't want to cheat.
Yeah, exactly.
So he either doesn't like women at all or likes women too much.
Oh, no. He constantly talks about, I just get prostitutes. He's quite open about it. Well, he's common sense. 70-year-old, they come round, do the business, and he goes. And he said, that's why I like it.
Better
Perfect.
give them a great tip.
Well, he's a multi. Guys, he's been on TV, like mainstream chat shows for like 20 years, plus all the stand-ups.
I never thought he was funny. I always thought he was a bit of a prick.
Well, any of those guys that don't... There's a narcissism to any of those people.
He's just a bit smarmy and a bit like...
No, but that has to come with a job.
That's the whole...
If you've been in chat shows for 20 years with people that are being told when into applause and not, and you're happy to do that, you've got to become absorbed in that. You eventually forget. You don't know that because it's not a secret. They are paid to clap.
Yeah.
And especially when the shows first start, what they do is they watch for people that clap a lot. They go to the fan clubs, get them, and people that are really over the top, they say, right, we'll have him back and we'll have them back. And then eventually they pay them. And then they still have the applause things to tell them. But sometimes they miss the mark. So
You're fired.
It does comedy in a pattern.
Yeah.
And sometimes they miss the pattern and they don't laugh at the right bit. Because you realise, or they'll laugh and he hasn't finished the joke yet. But even though he's watching this happen with the light going on and applause, over 20 years... You've got to sort of forget that. Yeah. And you then become a narcissist where you think you are funny.
I would love that. I would love to just go to one of those performances and then just like whenever there was a quiet bit, you go,
oh my God.
Like, and then they'd be like, what? But do a really distinctive laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you wouldn't make it. They cut that out.
And then they'd just be like, like every time there was like not a joke, you'd laugh.
No, because I watch a show and sometimes they laugh at the wrong bits. They laugh because it's a pattern. They're not laughing. But if you've been doing that for so long, that has to go into your body then. He doesn't know anymore. So that's when you get the cocky and I'm very important.
Adapt, though. But it's funny because me and a friend, we talked about this because like there's specific TV shows like Friends or Seinfeld, and it's like always that fake laughter or the Big Bang Theory. Like, oh, we have to laugh here.
Yeah.
Like,
do you remember when they put that? Somebody released the Big Bang Theory, the raw footage.
Yeah.
That they didn't even have a live audience. So what they were doing is you could hear them. They pause. Because they knew the laughter would come in afterwards, but they obviously didn't have it at the time, and so they're saying this and then stopping.
Well, they edit.
Oh God!
Well, there are edits like they do that with like Friends. They'll take the laugh track out, and you just have these weird bits where people go, "So did they take all the lunch?" And then pause, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And it's so weird because it's a completely different rhythm to it.
Yeah.
And it's very odd.
Friends was the first big one.
Makes it a bit creepy.
I spoke to somebody in TV over here, and she was telling me that they have to have a certain amount of. And she said, "Oh yeah, Friends has this amount of laughs, like it's specific, like 137 or what it is." And she said it's basically every 3 to 5 seconds. But she said because it goes conversation, laugh, conversation. That's and I thought, oh no. So when you see it, you go, oh right, yeah. They're fitting in numbers.
Well,
but it was nice though. They had live audience and they were testing out jokes and seeing what would actually work. So that I completely respect, and it's like fun. I would love to be there and watch, like to see like, okay, let's try this. Okay, this didn't work.
I think after the 80s, that's when they thought we don't even need the live audience. We don't need that anymore. And that's when it's become, I mean, I couldn't work like that. Why would you want to do? But that's when you need a narcissist to go, I don't care if nobody's laughing. I'm being famous and it's absolutely fine. I'm going to smile like everybody's laughing. But that's the type of personality. That's when you get like a Bill Maher or something.
Here's a fun fact.
Oh, yeah.
From the sound engineer in the room.
Tell us.
Most of those recordings were made in 60s and 70s, so all of those people are dead.
Oh, they still use the same laughter tracks because just everyone's used to it. Yeah.
Just,
Just a fun fact for you.
Fact.
Oh, I love it. I love fun facts.
I suppose in the 80s, they're like with The Office and that, you start to get you didn't have laughter track, did you? It was about storylines.
I think they started to move. Well, it's the single cam. They the multi-cam setups, what they call
right. Yeah, stage.
That's the stage bit, like your Friends and your Big Bangs, and then it's a single cam with like your The Office or whatever, or Peep Show or something. Now
I'm thinking about it. I think maybe it works for some people. Do you know what I mean? It's a type of person that likes those things. So if you didn't have the laughter track, it just wouldn't work as a show because it doesn't appeal to certain people. It's not about that show appeals to everyone.
It's a genre. Like
I think some people can't enjoy stuff. Like I sometimes listen to stand-up comedy, and I think they're not saying. If you really listen, they're not saying anything funny. They're just acting silly. But if you need people in the crowd there to laugh. Whereas if there's no crowd, you wouldn't be laughing. If you're at home watching that on your own, you don't laugh out loud at stuff unless it's really funny. They're laughing because they're in a crowd of people, and that's the pattern that if you go to a stand-up, you laugh at that bit. But because sometimes when I'll see something online, I watch it, go, this bloke isn't doing anything funny. I'm not being funny. He's not saying. He's just being silly. So where's the joke? It's not. Yeah,
nothing wrong.
I think, but when you're there, maybe in the crowd, then so it needs a crowd to be feminine.
Yes, because there is that crowd X stuff.
That's what I mean. Certain people will go to stand up
I
to laugh.
studied this at uni.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Listen.
I did a module on this.
Is this when you left uni?
No, this is the second time when I stayed.
But philosophy?
Yes. Well, it was a sociology module.
Oh, so why did this come up?
Because it was a sociology module.
Oh, right.
I did the sociology of sports because it was an easy module. I thought I'd get a good grade on it.
Yeah.
Typical student.
But it was
easiest.
actually interesting because it was mostly about sort of crowd dynamics and stuff.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And like, which actually was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And like why, and it was particularly focused sort of on football crowds and stuff because like why do crowds react certain ways and people get swept up in it and people chant, and when do chants come in, and when do people suddenly swell? And you're right, there is a difference. There's a difference between me watching, going to a football match, getting carried away and ripping my shirt off and having to be held back and like winging pennies at people, and all that stuff, and getting hoarse, shouting so much I lose my voice, and then like me listening to it at home or watching at home. You know what I mean? So there is a complete difference, and I do sometimes go, oh come on, when I'm at home, but I don't go bananas. Like
but I genuinely think there's a different. Different types of people.
Depends who it is. I mean, with England, I get frustrated. It's mostly
same. If Norway's playing, oh my gosh. They had their time in the 90s, but now it's like, we do have good players, but as a team...
What's happening with World Cup now? Is it one coming or is one gone?
There is a World Cup coming next year, and guess where it is?
Is it one of these fascist countries?
Yes.
Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Where is it?
United States of America.
Oh, wow. Oh, well done, Charles. Is it really in America?
Yes. And guess who's going to be probably at most of the... Well, certainly the US games.
Who?
Guess.
The dear leader.
Oh, Trump. I thought you were talking about you.
No,
oh, right.
Trump.
Well, he's just going to jump on the bandwagon.
But this is going to be this possibly going to be his Munich Olympics.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like he's
posters up with him kicking.
Where he has to sort of give out the winning medals comfortably to like the black players.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. It must be really fun to have the opportunity to meet him in person. I don't know why. Like, it's always like you see those people on TV or news and whatever. Like,
well, strange enough, we just talked about Bill Maher. He just went for dinner with Trump. So he's been an outspoken critic of Trump. So he went. So his show last week, he started off by saying, yes, this is what happened. And he sits on the stool, goes, right. And went and he goes, yeah, he wasn't a monster. And he was quite funny and blah, blah. And he said all the things. He said, I know everyone's going to hate me. He said, but I asked him this and asked him that. And he sort of joked about this and he asked me about that. He said he was fine. He said, but the funny thing was, when I left, he said about 20 minutes later, he posted some sort of hate thing. I thought, oh, he's two different people. Like he's just... So that's how
sometimes that's
it was fine. And who are you going to meet in person who's going to be a nasty, horrible person? Nobody. Go back through history. So, but my thing is like, it doesn't matter what they're in person. What are they actually doing in the world?
Well, I'm sure Pablo Escobar was quite charming.
Doesn't mean anyone.
Party, you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, hi.
Nice to meet you here. So the meeting people in person. I mean, like when I worked in a nightclub, it was quite well known. We'd get celebrities coming in there. Like one of the Spice Girls came in. And I didn't know who anybody was. And you'd see people act like shit. And then you'd see them on the TV go, oh, right. So you think you know them. But when they're on the TV, when they're being interviewed, that's an act. That's not who they are.
100%.
When they've got 13 mates with them in a club at night and they've had a few drinks and you're looking at their mates going, you hang around with these people. You go, oh, that's who you are. Everything else is an act. So when you see like interviewers going, oh, he's a lovely person. You go, they're being interviewed. It's an act. So some people can act. So I think that's what it is. Like with Trump, he's acting. But what he really is a disgusting pervert, narcissist, racist, all those things that you can see in his actual life over his whole life. Saying I went for lunch with him. Yeah, what was he going to do? Like throw things at him? No, he's going to be a polite guy. So it's largely what's
he going to do? Put tariffs on him? Like,
like
he's just going to sit there
start screaming at him.
Yeah, he's just going to have a nice normal conversation. And people don't
I won't be able to keep my mouth shut speaking to him because he's just a dirty pervert.
I would just start having a go at him.
I'd have to be
call
sarcastic.
him all sorts until I get dragged out.
Just go in and walk out.
That'd be my one chance to just really. I'd prepare. Oh God, I'd prepare it. I'd prepare the most stinging, catty, nasty response. Like that.
Go there to be thrown out.
One that would really get under his skin. One that would make him think. You know.
What? Like what's 3 had 3?
Well, no, just that you know that every time you leave the room, everyone laughs about you.
Yeah, what do you think about it? I'm not saying that.
I don't think he would care. I think he's just happy that people are talking about him and he gets the attention he wants. Like
they go, yeah. In my
opinion,
do you often get this expression when you're talking? Like, what? everyone just going, huh?
I just realised we're talking about Trump.
Let's talk about Elon Musk
hang on.
instead.
If you could meet any celebrities, like who would you like to meet, dead or alive? Like you could have 10 minutes with them.
So growing up, I was very much into like old Hollywood movies,
like
Judy Garland, Cary Grant, Rita Hayworth.
Okay, right, yeah.
Like I loved when the Judy movie came out about her late year before she passed away.
Right, okay.
Because I was obsessed. I loved reading biographies and just like her being a child actor and the abuse she got, and like in Hollywood, like she was on drugs. Like they gave like Hollywood studio, they would give her drugs. Her and her, don't remember his name, but her and a guy, they had a show together during their teenage years and whatnot, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And the thing is like she just wanted to be loved, and then it was something she said that was like, "Will they remember me?" Like, which is heartbreaking in a way. It just
there's an interview I watched on YouTube. It's she was, I think, Marilyn Monroe's assistant, and she was like, you watch it and she's old, like obviously like the assistant, and she said she was riddled with insecurity.
Yeah,
she just absolutely that was it. She actually, when she came to Hollywood, she moved to Hollywood with her and they lived together, and it didn't work out for her, but for Marilyn Monroe it did. So then she started working with her, and she said she was riddled with insecurity. You go, so that's you just jumping from person to person, looking for half like a father figure and half a husband, but then your personality is not bringing those people to you. The other people are coming to you, and you're going for them like older guys, father figures. So then they're just using you because you're giving them the personality that they're getting, but it's not what you want.
Yeah, because they want that dream, like that.
Yeah, and you're selling it because that's how you're going to get somewhere.
No, I think she was very smart because, and that's how a lot of women are. They're selling an image or whatever it is, but that's insecurity.
Yeah,
and then especially in
she said she was riddled with insecurity. She said she just couldn't get over it. Like somebody that attractive to just.
But it makes sense. Like I have, like with acting as well. Like it's just. You feel constantly judged, constantly this, like, so you constantly have to build yourself because you get rejections or like you don't get auditions and you feel like, okay, am I doing this for the right reasons and whatnot? And you're always being judged by something like your looks, your this,
the industry. Your industry is to be judged.
But this is what I love about like British movies. Like they show the wrinkles. It's not as polished as like you would see in Hollywood most of the time, and it's in like the rawness or just the jokes. I love British humor. It's that's like we have very dark humor in Norway, or especially Norway. But here the sarcasm is just like to the T. Like I love it. It's I'm
assuming you've been here long enough to realise that yes, most things are shit. You have to.
The living standards here is a. It's a joke. I was just like, no, but like I love London. For me, this feels like home because you meet so many interesting people, and everyone is here for a reason. We're not living here for the glorious.
But what you get back for your money here, you don't get the weather. Madonna, I saw an interview with Madonna. She said she left. She said they wanted $20 million for a flat. Like she's used to, in America, you buy a city for 20 for a flat of $20 million.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No. Like just this past weekend, I just moved into a new flat. First of all, the shower didn't work. No hot water.
You moved to an apartment block.
Yeah.
Is it a nice one?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, we can bleep that out. We can give that the
I was just like,
Hang on. So,
lovely.
But there must be more than. There must be about 10 apartment blocks. Stop.
No more.
Oh no, I thought you paused it.
Yeah.
Bloody question was going to say that. Oh, so
I'm so sorry. Yes, and then we had to have the contractor coming.
Yeah.
My first reaction. So me and my roommate, the contractor came, but we had to go out. So we let him in, and I made a joke that was like, "Oh, they sent a 12-year-old," and I normally never judge. Like it's good. He's probably have experience, whatnot.
No.
And when we got back, we had someone coming over, and then suddenly the property manager was there that day. And then like 10 minutes, we only have been here 10 minutes. And then they're like, sorry, you guys are having a leak, like coming out from your apartment. Oh, and I'm like, what? They just came to fix it. We finally have water that works.
Oh, after he left?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because he had left maybe like 30 minutes ago, and then we got back 10 minutes, and then it was, And then I was like, are you joking? So we were on the phone call to him and the boss, and it was like, no, sorry, we can't come back. And then we was like, okay, let's try different switches. Let's put the water on. Let's take it off. Like, let's figure out if we can do something. And then if we showered for 10 minutes or let the shower on and then turn it off, then it would stop. But then it went straight back again after 5 minutes.
Just the hassle.
Yeah, and then we FaceTimed him. Just to kind of show, and he's there in his backyard tanning with the whatnot. And I was like, you could have just come, fixed it. And then he had to talk to his boss that had to move things around for the next day to come. And I gave him my number because I had to go to work. And I was like, please just message me when you're done, or if anything, like we've prepped everything for you, whatnot. I didn't hear anything, and I didn't get back until 8 p.m. I was so stressed. I was like searching up like emergency plumbers, like anything, and then it was fine. And then there's always something. Like,
was
my gosh.
Was he a checker trade?
I don't know.
No, okay.
No.
Because checker trade are useless.
No.
Well, the plumbing companies, especially, because they're struggling to get plumbers. They are just getting kids now that can do basic stuff.
But to be fair, this is, I think the building was around, it's a 40 years old. So it's been through a lot. But still, we just moved in there. And
haven't we all?
Yeah.
But I was just like, what's the next thing? I'm just waiting for it.
But you'd have to, is that in part of your building maintenance you pay? You'd have to pay that person directly, did you?
No. That was on the landlord.
Oh, okay.
So anything like that, you just tell them I'm not paying.
But the funny thing is, he constantly said, it's not our fault. We didn't touch anything of that. We didn't touch it. But come on, dude. That has started after your employee was here.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And clearly, they kind of were like, no. But when I saw the rearrangement was different this time after the actual boss
just
was
lying,
there.
just lying.
I don't know, but still, London for you.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Exactly, yeah.
But I love it here. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so the sarcasm, I remember somebody saying to me, we're sarcastic because we're quite restrained, so we don't like to say things directly, so we've created sarcasm as a way of sort of, I don't want to be too direct.
I suppose.
So I'll just sort of say it sarcastically and hopefully you don't pick up on it, but you do pick up on it.
I like some countries are very direct. Like the Dutch are very, very direct, and they will just come out and say it, and you're like,
I love that.
Oh, okay.
We're going here. Okay.
Like,
Fine, bring it on.
Okay. Yeah. And they're like, they would just come out and say it. They go, oh, your jumper you're wearing is terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Have
really,
they said
really
that
bad.
to you? Or
Often, yes. My terrible jumpers. No,
you're wearing a lovely one. No, it's not a jumper, but
my fat guy jumper. But yeah, they'll just come out and say it, and you go, oh, okay. But then it's kind of. I realized, I was like, oh, that guy's a bit rude. But then I realized like multiple times, I'm like, oh, this is just
how it is.
Yeah, this is just their kind of
I didn't realize.
Yeah, they just
I love that about like traveling and seeing like different countries, and then you're actually like, oh, this is actually quite nice. I wish more people were like this.
Well, it's a different way of thinking. And yes, we don't do that in this country.
Yeah.
It's quite refreshing, I suppose. That people actually say what they think.
You said Norway has dark humour, does it?
We do. You know, Scandinoir, like we always have.
Scandinoir.
I think it's something to do. Our lives are so great. I know that sounds silly. I mean, we got the oil. Yes, just putting it out there.
So life's
if
too
no one knew.
Someone might hear.
Why am I here? No, it's like great health system, great school system.
Yeah.
Like, well, I was like growing up, I was heavily bullied. So people can be mean. Doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, of course,
Well, I was a fat kid. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, anyways.
It happens.
It happens. Then I don't know. But I think we always have very much like horror movies or crime or
it's a dark society,
it's very
really.
Death metal and such.
Yeah. Especially where Finland is not really part of Scandinavia, but it's a Nordic country, but they have a lot of like death metal music and like they're very famous for that. But Norway is a great country, beautiful, hiking, great.
So it is a nice country. It's not. Oh right, okay.
Just depends on what you want to do.
Well, that's a nice break if you want to, from London. You just go there and just everything just calms down and you come back again. Yeah.
Love it. Hiking there, skiing is perfect. Fishing if you like that.
Have you been around to any other Nordic countries?
Yeah.
You've got connections to Sweden, Norway.
Yeah, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland I've been to.
Any differences between those?
Language, yes.
No,
Just kidding.
like everything, like the general feel. Is it any, or are they all sort of like?
So Denmark flat
Yeah.
as a pancake. It feels like
Yeah.
great. Oh, every time I go there, they have these.
Don't be too specific. You can start talking about. There's a chocolate at the end of this calf. That does it. Oh. Right, go on.
Sorry, I was a burn.
All right, go on.
No, but they have this. This is a childhood memory. Like, okay, they have beautiful beaches, by the way.
Yeah.
But this is like they put instead of a spread, it's like a chocolate thin plate. You can put on your sandwich or something. Eat it. Oh, I would just eat it. But it's like a thin chocolate plate.
What do you mean a plate?
It's or like a flat. I think I'm thinking.
You spread.
Yeah, instead of a spread, it's just like it's a square, thin.
Oh.
You put it on your bread.
Like a slice of cheese sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
it's the weirdest thing. I would just eat it like that. But that was like a fun childhood thing.
Yeah.
Every time we would go to Denmark, my parents had friends there, and then
Bit like a stroop waffle.
Oh, well done, Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Did it make sense?
This is a weird thing. A place in Norway called Moss. They have like we're kind of famous of having waffles, like Scandinavian waffles.
Oh.
But they have in Moss they have a waffle as the bread, and then they have a hot dog.
Not in a waffle.
Yeah.
That's quite heavy.
But it's a trademark over there in Moss.
Have you been to the McDonald's over there?
Yeah. Oh wait.
Are they the same?
Expensive but good.
Are they
Better.
the same? Is it the same?
It's the cheese is melted. Here it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a different type of mac. I always wondered that in different countries. Is it different?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But in each country, everything has a little bit different
Yeah, I wondered
ingredients
that.
because of the law. Like it's
What would be the law though?
no, it's like for example, like in America, things are way more unhealthy.
Oh, right.
healthy
Salt levels and
because-
levels.
Like
right.
a Coke,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
see
yeah,
a Coca-Cola, like it is
Like a bucket.
no, but like if you see the ingredients, they are a bit different
Right,
depending
yeah,
on the country.
Because like with stuff like Coke and whatever, fizz drinks, they're bottled regionally.
Yeah.
Because like Fanta, for instance, can look like all types of colours. Like when you go abroad, I remember when I used to drink it in India, and it tasted like drain cleaner, basically.
Really?
And it was like like the
tasty.
weirdest orange.
suppose, yeah,
it was like really bright orange, and it looked like I used to drink it all the time. I really shouldn't have, but think about it. But yes, it was because it's all bottled locally, and they have lower standards in some countries.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I went back to McDonald's about 12 months ago, something like that. And it was with somebody, and they got the meal and all that. I didn't get anything. But I said, let me just have a bit of the Coke. And I'm not joking. I had about 2 gulps of it from a straw, and my eyes swelled up. And I was
Really?
like, oh my God, this is so much sugar. Like I was like, I knew that anyway, but just feeling it, I just thought, oh my God, somebody's drinking all this. You get used to it. Like sometimes I'll get if I get a takeaway, because I eat just nothing like bland food, and I eat a takeaway and go, Jesus, that's a lot of salt. Like, and it's not, but it's just like I'm not.
What you're used to. Your taste buds are used to, yeah.
Because people generally, because I've done a lot of stuff with health, people are sort of mildly inflamed constantly through sugar and salt.
Yeah.
I bet they are, but it's
that's the
an
study with the
inflammation.
McDonald's.
Because all you have to do is stop eating sugar and salt, and your body just shrinks because it's constantly puffed up with water because it's trying to just get rid of all the stuff you've been eating over the last few days. But it's just having that gulp and thinking in my eyes and think, geez, some people have this every day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I cut McDonald's out. Do you have McDonald's?
I have moved to Popeyes now.
The American chain?
Yes.
What do they do?
Chicken.
Popeyes chicken.
Fried
that's right,
chicken.
Yeah. Have they got them over here now?
Louisiana chicken. Yes, that's why I'm eating
Oh,
it,
okay.
yes. And I
Louisiana chicken. That place hasn't
I
been
see a smile there.
Yeah. I just because my mouth, just thinking about it, my mouth, it's like a Pavlovian response. My mouth's watering.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's become a bit of a joke where I work because everyone's like, "Oh, are you off to lunch?"
Yeah.
Where's your chicken?
And I'm like, "Yeah."
You eat
They go,
fried
"Where you
chicken for
going?"
lunch?
No, I ate a fried chicken sandwich. It's
Oh, right.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's spicy.
It's hidden inside of...
Yeah.
We're
Yes,
drawing a line
yeah.
here.
It's a big lump of fried. It's a big lump
With
of fried
sauce,
chicken
sugary sauce
in
and-
between a brioche bun. I mean, it's very nice. Okay,
£5 quid.
It's classy.
Price of a steak?
£6.
Very classy.
£6.
Okay, that's cheap compared to lunch is expensive now.
It is.
No, I suppose, yeah, I don't go
It
to-
is.
We've got Box Park down the road because I work
Yeah.
around Croydon, and that is expensive. What was it? Tiny Temper, the UK grime artist or rapper or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got his own sandwich shop there that does spicy
how
sandwiches. I know. Yeah, it's quite, I've had it. It's about 13 quid for a wrap.
Oh.
Oh yes.
When you say a rap, he doesn't come out singing.
Well, no, but there is a pun because you can order the spicy wrap and it's spelled with an
R-A-P. Oh, that's very young.
Yes, and I was like, oh, and it came in a dinky little bag that I still have.
No, I'm not spending that money. It's not worth it.
That bag.
No,
Well,
I always think the price of a steak is this, so everything else has to revolve around that.
Yeah.
So if I want to, I'm not getting a sandwich for more than £5, you're joking, I'm not paying it.
I used to eat this Pakistani street food place. Oh my god, and they went out of business. It's such a shame. It's some of the nicest stuff I've ever had.
Right.
They used to know me as well. They used to be like, "Oh, we didn't see you last week. What's up?" And I was like, "Oh,
We ordered all this.
I was on leave," and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And like they
big bag of salt next to it that we haven't opened.
it was great.
Oh, God. What sort of food do you eat? Do you have any sort of diet? You follow anything?
No.
No?
I see what I eat. I love
But
food.
acting and modelling, you have to sort of keep on top of it. You must. Or do you just get away with it? You haven't had to yet. You don't have to.
It's just I love food.
Yeah.
Food has always been a big thing in my family.
Do you cook a lot?
I do when I can.
Okay.
Like lately, it's been really difficult because of the schedule. It's been nonstop, but I do love meat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people out there, don't care. But I do love meat. I do love red meat. I know it's not good to eat too much, but I love chicken wings. I love tacos. Tacos is a big thing I make at home.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's easy to mix. And then sometimes it's good to meal prep. I have it there. I'm really weird when it comes to like cooking. I don't follow recipes. I love baking though. Then I always have to follow a recipe.
Oh, that'll get you the baking.
But yeah, I love brownies.
I suppose people don't eat, instead of like red meat, you eat like what they call organ meats, like kidneys and things like that. Because
no, thank you.
No, you have to cook it. You wouldn't.
No, I've had it. I just want to throw up. I'm so sorry.
But are you sure it wasn't off? Because it's very. You've got to cook it properly.
Yeah. My mom.
What was it?
It
Liver.
was liver, and
some people just can't take it. Yeah.
It's
It's very good for you. Very good.
I know.
Yeah.
I need the iron.
Yeah.
Like it's
kidneys
really bad.
or I mean it's more than
Iron.
steak.
Sorry, am I saying it wrong? Iron,
No, yeah.
iron, please. Anyways,
More iron. Yes, there we go.
Oh, but some people just don't like the smell and taste.
No, but a
of
lot
it.
of people ask me. A lot of people.
And it's only like £2 for a big pack of it. Oh, vegan. Oh, I've forgotten about all that
I'm so
lot.
sorry.
Yeah.
No,
I tried.
I feel like hollow. Like for instance, like last week, I didn't eat any meat, and I just by the end of the weekend, I just felt hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt meat emptiness.
Yeah.
Like
something
legit,
missing
and I
out
was
your
just
life.
like, I just woke up and I was like, oh my god, I just feel like empty for meat, and like I just had to cook up loads of chicken, loads of chicken breast with some garlic, and I just was like, oh god, yes, that was like breakfast, and I was just like, oh my god, thank God.
But even chicken, you have to be careful with chicken because they just pump it up with so much water now. Like you can't buy cheap chicken, you might as well just get a bucket of water because they just inject it with so much water. You pick it up and it's like sloppy.
No, but you see when you fry it, you just like
Yeah.
everything's steam, like the water. Just
You have to get the
same with
expensive
meat
one
as well.
Yeah. Because these
We're not all rich, so it's really hard. No, I was kidding. Just
don't let these opulent surroundings. It's a struggle every month. No, but what I think, because when you buy chicken and it's like Tesco's owned or whatever, and it's like £3 for two chicken
frozen
breasts.
one is good. I would go for.
Yeah, but it's sort of like you're cheating yourself by going for like the cheaper version. You know, it's pumped up full of water, so you might as well just spend the extra money and actually get because you can have one decent chicken breast is worth two cheap ones, so you might as well just the one, and it will fill you up the same because the other one's just stuffed full of water. How did we get onto this? We're from Trump to
meat.
I think we're all hungry.
No, but there's been a lot of studies because it's like meat is good for you. Of course, things are overproduced, so we're not things should be more local. Like I remember the protest about like the farmers and like I think it's so good to support more local storage shops, like farmers, for example. Like I think those should be more invested in because instead of transportation, I can't even speak English right now, but like I think if people focus more on that, and yes, maybe eat less meat, but at the same time, a lot of things that are produced in general, it's like I don't think that's the core where you should start. Like there's so many more aspects to environment or what.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out in 50 years what like the stress in the animals is actually doing to us, and that we've been basically torturing animals to eat them. And you've got to factor in real life, which is you can't afford it. Like okay, we're going to give you the thing, but it's going to cost you £15 to buy a steak from. You go, well, I can't have that. So the whole system's sort of knackered. So every month you have to play that game of I should have a little bit of this, but not too much.
Well, don't buy that Versace bag. That was like baby cow.
bag.
No, but if you know what I mean, there's so many more aspects to it. Like then,
I wonder how many people go into those stores who can't afford the stuff, but they just look.
Yeah, it happens.
Must have been quite a lot.
Yeah. We had 2 young boys come in one time when I went there. And everyone, it was so funny because I think you should treat everyone with the same respect, same service. Doesn't matter. Like they're still there.
Right.
But then some of my coworkers, sorry, that's maybe bad to say, but they were like, oh no, we don't go and help them. They're not going to do, like, they're not going to buy anything.
Right, yeah.
Blah, 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 this and that. And I was just like, oh, well, they're still there. They're still in the store. You never know.
Yeah.
Like,
you never know who they
you
are.
never
Somebody's
know.
son, yeah.
And you always should treat anyone with the same respect as you want to be treated yourself. Unless, of course, you should say stop. Otherwise, if they start doing something, you should.
Yes.
But yeah.
Have you ever been in a designer store, Charles?
No, I've had several doors closed to me. Like I remember when I was walking.
Have you?
I was walking past I was walking down some road. They had all these very posh jewelry shops, and they had like dudes on the door. You know what I mean? And like,
why are you here?
No, I have to get doors closed.
Oh, right, yeah.
Sure, no, none for you.
Not for you. It's not for you. Not for you. Keep walking.
I think that's so silly. I don't think that's okay. In my
Some people are quite snobby.
It was in my hobo days.
Oh, you were looking.
I was looking particularly shambolic. More
Right. Okay. Right.
it's like wearing a tracksuit.
Where we used to record from Sloane Square, round the corner of them, they had one of these shops, and it's in Sloane Square.
Yeah.
And they had a bath sponge. It was 250 quid. But it's actually, a sponge, like
a
a
loofah.
natural.
he's tried it.
Yeah.
He's tried it.
250 quid.
No.
What?
Because there was a range of them,
Yeah, there was a large
and
one.
the big one was
Yeah.
about £8,000.
No, I didn't see a big one.
Oh,
I saw a couple. I did see two sizes.
There was like a 6 foot one.
What are you talking about?
No, there was, and it was
There
like
wasn't a 6 foot sponge.
It was like £8,500.
There wasn't.
It might have been more. I might
I'm
be down.
sorry.
for
What
about
would
10.
you use it for?
In Sloane Square.
I don't know. It was
What's
like
the purpose of this?
yeah,
item?
sponge. Sure, it wasn't a mattress.
it was almost it's almost sort of anime body pillow shit. It was just like something you could cover.
In Sloane Square.
Yeah.
It must be the same shop.
It was
I'm
that
thinking
shame.
of.
It was, and they had multiple things. I remember they had multiple.
Yeah, different stuff in there.
different things.
Quite small shop.
Yeah. But in the window, and they had literally the big one was like.
Oh, I didn't see that.
They had like a medium one for about.
But what are you
3 or
supposed to
4
do with it?
pins.
Cut it up or something? I don't know.
This is when you have a lot of money and you don't know what to spend or use it on. This is the perfect thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, when I saw this cheap 200 quid spot, I was like, what what these people live? What world do you live in? Because they had soap for sale. So who's using soap? When the last time I saw you use a bar of soap?
This morning when I washed my hands.
No, soap.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
mean
filthy.
a bar of soap?
Yeah,
Instead
because you
of,
can't
like,
reuse it.
No.
Well, I think it's like if you don't want to use plastic or something like that.
Oh,
then
yeah, you're going to get
buy
me on that. Then I can't really
or-
say anything. Yeah, but it's not
My
clean.
nan who passed away, she loved soap like that. Like
And it's only imperial leather, isn't it? Like smell of old
Dove,
people.
Dove.
Oh, Dove do the right.
Dove.
But that's so
know,
inefficient. Like because you got a slippery.
No, it's all about wash my hands. You know what I mean?
a lot of my guy friends have it, which I don't know.
But you're picking up something that's already been. It's not self-cleaning.
No,
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
I
It's
know.
going to be a bit of bacteria on there every time you do
Yeah.
it. So why use the old way of
But
doing it?
anything you touch would be. No, I was kidding.
No, it works, but it's been improved on. So why carry the thing that
Yeah.
still has bacteria on it? Why not go for the?
Well, because then you got touching the thing and then
Nah, get out of it. You can't say that if you're using soap. I could say
you
yeah.
say, use your elbow or whatever.
No.
You know?
Because I use when a shower gel, I use a hand gel because it's got antibacterial in it. So I just use that. It's much better cleaning than shower gel.
We're
'cause-
still touching the bottle, I guess, as well.
yeah, but if you can say that, but then you can't use soap because that's
Hand
definitely worse.
sanitizer.
Yeah, no, I use because it's antibacterial in it. Because the showery
Is that
stuff.
good for your skin?
No, I did look into that. Some of them you can't.
yeah.
Some of them got like the hard 90%
Yeah.
alcohol, and you can't use that because it would just dry your skin out.
Yeah.
You just smell like booze, though.
But then all the
just rolling around.
they
like-
always feel quite silky. The shower gel ones. I think like you're not clean. You're smelling but you're not cleaning properly. So I used a hand gel one. I thought, oh, this is much better. Then I tried other ones. I thought, no, that dries you out too much. Let's get off this. It's quite personal.
Yeah.
Creme, what do you
gosh.
wash with? Some sort of Turkish?
No, it's just whatever my wife buys.
Oh, okay.
She knows best.
She knows. Yeah.
She knows best.
knows
Yeah, okay.
That's what I use.
Right. Any other subject? Let's just jump. Any other subject you want to talk about? You're desperate to get your Elon Musk thing. Your weekly Elon Musk.
No. I was just gonna. Yeah. Well, Elon Musk.
Everyone's still smashing up Teslas.
Yes, they rounded up a whole bunch of people. They arrested a whole bunch of people and threatening to give them like 15 years in prison.
They're gone. I suppose because he's got him in charge, so they can just go. Oh, you want to mess with our Teslas?
But he recently did a live stream, video game live stream, a video game that he's supposed to be ranked
playing games.
Yes, he's supposed to be ranked one of the best players in the world at this game.
Didn't you tell me you paid something?
He was paying people to do it because he's
to get his score
online.
Yeah.
While he's actually out and about doing stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously he's not doing it. And also, it's one of those things where if you were one of the top players in the world, you'd probably have to be playing it for about 15, 16 hours a day. You know what I mean? That's all you do.
To get that level.
And like 7 days a week, that's what you're doing. Yeah. You're sleeping and you're playing this game. And he famously recently played this game. He got killed by the tutorial boss.
Right, yeah.
So the very beginning of the game, the boss who's literally like the boss who's literally like chained down and is for you to practice learning the game mechanics on, he died on.
Oh, because he's actually playing the game himself.
Because he's actually playing it. But the cat with this great character, but he obviously doesn't know how to use it and hasn't ever played the game. Now, there was a live chat going on during this, and the live chat was very negative about him.
Yeah.
Continuously for hours. And then eventually he stopped playing and just sat in a darkened room and watched this live chat go up with, "You are no one likes you, you will die alone. No one likes you, you will die alone. No one likes you, you will die." Just watching that scrolling up and down. And then he put on some music from Grimes, his ex-partner, and played this same song from his ex-partner on a loop while watching, "No one likes you, you will die alone."
Are you sure this is real?
Yes.
But why is he filming himself do this?
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
I don't know why is an adult playing games? Oh, I suppose
why is an adult playing games?
I was just about to say if one plays bloody games.
I mean, why are they even there watching it, making these comments?
But hasn't he got stuff to do?
No, but why are they there?
Well, the internet's there to abuse people.
Sounds kind of fun.
Anyone you could have anyone that would go up there. It could be an angel would go up there and people would just start being abusive and sexual. It's just that's the internet. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Such a waste of time and energy.
But why is he playing computer? He hasn't got stuff to do. I'm busy. I ain't got stuff. I'm not doing what he's doing.
I mean, he's doing it because of the audience. Like, if you know what
doing
I mean?
it as a social media
It's a cycle. It's a cycle. Like you're part of it.
Yep.
You being there, you're part of it.
Maybe he likes being abused. He's one of those perverts. That
this might be a kink thing.
Tell me how horrible I am. Tell me what's that?
I'm a little piggy.
I'll never forget that podcast. It stayed with me to this day. That some guys, it was like 2 years ago.
It's a shame pig.
It scarred me. Some blokes like to be called pigs or something. Give me your money.
They pay piggies as well. Yeah.
Pay piggies. But when you're the pay piggy, you're not ashamed of yourself.
That's part of it.
Call me a piggy.
So it's like a kink to give money to people.
Oh God!
Wait, what?
Yeah. This is something that people have far too much money and time.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, I'm a whatever naughty boy or something. Here,
tell me have
£1,000. Oh yeah, you're taking all my money, aren't you? Oh, I'm being ripped off.
Wow.
Call me a piggy. What was the pig? What was they saying?
I don't know.
I remember the podcast you told me, and it's fucking scarred me since that day. Because I'm from a dark world, and you think you know everything, and then you go, no, you don't know what people are like, and saying like, call me a pig and call me an ugly bastard and take me your money, and they do it, and you go, what?
The internet has taught us that people will pleasure themselves. Men will pleasure themselves over, pleasure themselves over anything, and if there's something on the internet, there's some guy pleasuring himself. To be honest,
no matter what you come up with. I'll just get off this subject. I don't know why I took it down that road.
Have you guys used Chat GPT before? No?
I haven't actually.
Really?
No.
What have you used it?
No, but I was working at this event and this influencer was there and she was like, she couldn't come up with something on her own. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to check this. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Can you find this and this and that? And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's using it. I want to download it and try it. And oh my goodness, it's actually really, really good. Better than Google. Like,
okay.
And what is it? It's an app.
It's like AI, but you're asking it, or you can write it, whatever. You can ask a
question. But what's it? An app?
Yeah, it's an app you can download.
It opens up.
Yes. And you can ask anything.
Like Google?
It almost basically like Google. Okay. There's a subject I have no idea about, or a particular, like, what's the news for today? And then he gives different options, like, here's an article about this or a definition, but it's quite clear.
Right.
I kind of think
I've heard
good.
people seem to be more shocked that it's actually better than they thought. They think like an antiquated version of what you think it is.
It is really good in a scary way, but if it's used wisely, I think it's great. But at the same time, you can, I think it was like, I wanted to see if, I needed a short story for something, like a monologue, a monologue. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to see if it works. And then I just wrote, okay, can you find me a female monologue about this topic? And it was a short one. And it was really, really good. Yeah. And then it asked, are you happy about this? Or do you want something about this, and this topic? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. But so it kind of, I get scared because I don't want to get lazy.
Yeah, I was just saying
what scares me.
But the thing is, you definitely will. Like you're only you because you keep that in check and you have to keep thinking. If you stop and you just use it once, well, then you might as well just carry on using it because it's not going to, you can't have both. Yeah. One has to give. Yeah. And you can't give into it. Just be one of these kids that goes, I'm just going to use ChatGPT all the time.
Exactly. But it's good for fact checking, I guess. And it shows you, like, you can go on this website or find this here. This is more about this topic or whatnot.
What about if somebody says something nasty? Can you go to ChatGPT? Can I have a good comeback for what they just said to me?
Yeah, you could. Like, here you
tell
can
them
try
this. Yeah.
Probably,
what about me? What about you?
Oh, yeah, I call
your
feel
mama.
Like you have a memory now that you want, or something that happened.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, it's free.
Oh, it's a free. Oh, that's how they get you. It's free for now. Come on in.
I called the jerk store and they're all out of you.
But
Seinfeld.
It kind of makes me sad because a lot of creators out there are using it, and as a creator, like, you want to create yourself, if that makes sense.
But some people don't care about that. They haven't got that sort of integrity, and then it works for them. So it's sort of like it works for whoever wants it. I don't want to get used to that because then you will lose it. Your synapses will change. You'll become more reliant on it, and then eventually, when everyone's using it, then it'll be 50 quid a month. Yeah. So you just don't use it unless it's an emergency, time-wise, then go to it. But other than that, there's no, and I don't want to.
I mean, a lot of people use Google, though. I mean,
yes, I don't even use that. I'm well behind. But no, I mean, like voice thing or whatever. Tell me where something is or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, you use Google, though.
You don't ask it questions.
Google Maps.
What? Okay. I mean, sometimes I'll ask, like, I don't know, who won the 90.
Yeah, I haven't got those sort of questions.
Whatever,
I'm just doing stuff.
If you're searching news or searching website or searching, like, where can I find blah, blah, blah.
It's quite specific. I know what I'm doing when I go to Google.
What's the capital of Angola or something? Sometimes you need to know, like, something specific.
Okay, it's a basic level, yeah.
Or you just come out of the conversation, you go, what is the capital of Angola? You go,
yeah.
A specific, okay, right, yeah, they'll probably do use it then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a slippery slope. But I always said, people forget when people like films are going to be written by them, these animations are done by them, and it's fine. But what they're not factoring it's sort of like with artwork. We've come back to this again about different. It will work for some people and it won't work for others because of different types of people. And some people won't want to see a film other than novelty once because it is by ChatGPT or whatever. And also artwork. Some people are not going to like that artwork because they know it's not about what it looks like. It's some people, I know what that is. I've said it before, it comes back to the diamonds when they started creating diamonds in pressure things over like 20 years because that's what it is. Crap. So they had loads of fake diamonds that were more pure than the real diamonds. And it was a good test because it didn't work because women knew it's not a real diamond. It's the same. It's perfect. Like ChatGPT, it's a perfect thing. But the human beings,
the sense.
So when I see artwork that's by art, I go, but I know it's not a human. So it doesn't matter what it's doing. It takes away from me. Yeah. Film would be the same thing. Or here's a script. We can do it by this. You go, but I know it's not. Yeah. So that takes it. But then there's other people go, no, don't give a shit. I just want it quick. And you go, well, so it's different types of people.
No, but I worked on this production, and the whole script was on like AI.
Yeah.
I kind of.
Were they open about this?
Yeah,
or
kind of. Not in the beginning, but later on. And I was like, it makes sense because
it doesn't make sense.
It made sense when I read some of it because why are they kind of repeating themselves? Why are they doing this? So I kind of rewrote a little bit some of my scenes because I was like, this doesn't feel human or this doesn't.
And we are still in early years.
A little bit, yeah. Story-wise, it was quite fun and like good, but you could just sense how it was just a dialogue. And
exactly, yeah. It's
but
clink,
as an actor,
clunky.
you need, anyways, like you need to come prepared. You need to have like options depending on the director, of course. But it was just sad to part of it in a way.
Right, yeah.
I suppose it lacks...
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Because the script is what everything's built on. So if everything's built on this...
Yeah.
But I suppose it lacks that emotional depth. Or sort of
like human understanding, or
as sort of that emotional level. But then could that possibly be replicated? In the future, could you? Because that's, I mean, it's just.
Well, we have to just think it's still early days. So what it's used for is scaffolding, and then you build on. But you don't use that literally. It's but then in 30 years, it has become more. I suppose really like a child, it just learns day to day and it becomes more deep. And then the depth comes.
It's like the story. It's like a story written by an 8-year-old.
And then it becomes a 9-year-old,
very
and a
clever
10-year-old.
8-year-old. And all the bits are there, and the structure, and it can be very well written, but it can lack that emotional depth, like a song, like
experience.
Like if you read like a poem or a song written by someone who's a bit younger, even a young teenager, sometimes it can be technically very good, technically very proficient, and like a song, it'd be very catchy, and you go, okay, but it just sometimes it lacks that that sort of experience, that life experience, and that emotional.
Has AI ever been on heroin and written a chorus? No,
whatever, loved and lost, or struggled, or whatever, had sleepless nights about bills or whatever. But
the other half is it's not that, which then takes away from it, and that's why it will never become. It'll be the perfect diamond. It's perfect, but it's not human.
It just reminded me of something. This is really weird.
Yeah.
But when you guys were younger, did you ever try to, like, if you had the lyrics of a song, and then you translated it to a different language and a different language and a different language, and then you translated it back to English and saw the results?
No,
and then you would try
can't speak
sing
any
it
other language
because it was this YouTuber who did that, and then he would sing it, and I thought it actually was quite genius in a way.
Yes,
but what? Say it again. So he's singing it in different language.
He would first of all, the lyrics would be English.
Yeah.
Then he would maybe translate it to Russian, and then like we can do Swedish here, and then Chinese, and then let's go back to let's do Spanish, and then back to English again, and then he would sing the song exactly how it was written, but
doesn't
with
it ruin the tempo because the length of the words?
Kind of, no, but it's just like funny, like things are lost in translation.
Oh right, I see.
But it was hilarious. It didn't sometimes make sense, but it was just like a funny thing that he did, and he was like known to do.
I said it's about
like Google Translate.
Like Google, exactly. But I thought it was genius in a way. It was really entertaining.
Because I used to do this with my French homework years ago, and I just used to put it into the French translator.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you type in, I'd go, right, okay, type all the English bits, and I'd go, right, translate to French, and it would just translate directly, like the words, so it wouldn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Because the way grammar and
sort of
syntax
male,
and everything
female
works, the way sort of structure of language works within different languages, it can't directly translate. For some reason, if you translate Dutch directly, it comes out very odd sometimes, very odd, almost back to front kind of.
Right, okay.
And you're like, what? And it just really doesn't make much sense sometimes. So, as I said, languages are sort of constructed differently and approaching different things, and also there are different social contexts, and there are concepts behind words as well, which is what you don't really always appreciate. So and this is completely lost basically with a program that just translates everything.
Oh right, yeah. I said to before, it was fascinating. I love this. That there was a guy in China. It was about. Must have been like 40 years ago, just before the internet came in, and he was a failed American comedian. Okay. And so what he did is he like got all the best comedy that had ever been, like Richard Pryor, some other people and whatnot, and he just learnt all the comedy and then learnt it in Chinese and went over to China because they'd never heard of all of it. Fucking genius. It was only when the internet came along.
Millionaire, yeah.
The internet came along, and then he was being filmed, and people go, hang on, this is all like, but before that, you go, that's genius to learn it in another language.
Why not?
Fantastic.
I had to change a few bits here and there, but still.
Yeah, that's genius level.
Just go out there and say, this is a little song I wrote yesterday. All my troubles seem.
Have you seen
it was
that
film? Movie,
yeah. Did you see that film?
I haven't seen it.
I hadn't seen it,
yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Does it work? It's not time traveling. What happens? Is it an accident?
Is it a
dream?
I like that it never explains it.
Oh,
He
right.
just kind of, I think he just wakes up and no one remembers the Beatles.
Okay, right. Doesn't tell
They
me.
just
I
don't
thought it was an
exist. He
accident.
Googles it and they just don't exist as a band. It just comes up. He Googles it. It just comes up with loads of stuff about insects.
So it's just a
it's not.
band.
No,
really.
no, they don't exist. They never happen.
But what's he?
What if they never?
But where's he getting it from?
Because for some reason he's the only one who can remember it. It's like it never explains it. It doesn't need to. It's just a silly.
Right.
What if?
It's fine. A parallel universe, whatever. Berenstain Bears or whatever. You know what I mean? It's a Mandela effect, whatever.
But it's only good because it's the Beatles. It's not good if you didn't know that and you just said, "Here's a new song I've got."
I think
Really? I don't know anything. So maybe
think the Beatles are. I think there is. They are.
But wasn't it
iconic
the
band.
fame and the way they looked and what was a big part of it? Wasn't they genius?
It was the writing,
Really?
the lyrics. The lyrics.
I love
was
you.
really
Yeah.
good.
That's not genius.
No, but there's so many songs. There's
Okay,
so
I don't know
many
anything,
songs
so
that
okay,
no,
right.
that's okay.
No, but
that's okay.
When they started doing drugs, I'd understand that.
Well,
like the
that's
latter ones.
the thing. Is
John
I
Lennon.
think once they move to America and they start to get.
Well, I'm thinking
there's
50s.
two steps. There's two stages.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the sort of the sort of English. What do they call it? Northern soul kind of thing, and then they sort of.
Oh right, yeah.
Billy Rock and all that kind of thing, and then they moved to America. They went to America and.
The pop songs.
Yeah, it was less pop. Well, they was
Right.
but it became a bit deeper when they started hanging out and doing those drugs and hanging out with Ravi Shankar and stuff.
Yeah. Ravi Shankar, hanging out with Ravi Shankar.
Ravi Shankar, yeah. And they start getting into Buddhism and shit and like Hinduism stuff. But yeah, you're right. They are also interesting because of their story.
Yeah.
Because they are the story of the 60s and they are the quintessential story of a band as well. And I'm very stupid, and I always disappointed. In my head, I think that bands like live together in the same house, and like not all bands, but they start off and they all live together in the same house. And like they sort of have little adventures and fallings out, and like they have things going on, and like maybe they drive around in the van and solve mysteries. I don't know, but that's kind of how I want
Scooby-Doo
with a dog. I don't know, but then maybe that's how I like. That's in my head. That's how I like it. And I'm always very disappointed when they're like, "Oh no, well we just live in separate houses." And
That's
just
disappointing.
But I'm like,
sometimes I'm driving around at night. I do see like a couple of bloke. They'll be walking in the middle of nowhere, and one will have like a guitar, and another one will have a big bag. I think, they're absolutely broke. They got nothing, but they're just walking around at 3 a.m, having just probably couldn't afford the cab home from the gig. I thought, that's great. That is
rock and roll. That is, yes, rock and roll.
Need some hardship.
What type of music are you into? You're not really a music person, are you?
Yes.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Most stuff, to be honest. I like everything.
Like, what's the last thing you downloaded or purchased or?
The last album.
Somebody I'd know.
God, I used to buy. I mean, I had tons of CDs. I used to listen to a lot of rap.
Is it all the
rap and hip hop when I was younger?
Yeah.
So it's probably one of those. I think.
Wait, which rapper?
Biggie.
East Coast man.
Oh, you're East Coast man.
Oh yes, Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep.
Okay, right, yeah, all the classics.
Having been to boarding school, obviously, I very much liked
I was kidding.
my East Coast gangster rap types things.
White middle class posh kid.
Yes.
Screw you, parents.
Gangstar. DJ Primo.
Yeah, nice.
How long did you like boarding school? And you were sent away to boarding school?
No, well, I was a day pupil there. So
okay.
Bored. But nah, not really.
No. Did you learn anything from it, like personality wise?
That I don't think it's a very healthy environment for young people.
Like what? What you like?
Locked it in a Borstal environment together, like a young offenders institute together,
Right, yeah.
with no supervision.
Right.
Just growing up a bit weird and feral. I just.
Stephen Fry book, when he talks about what happened to him at private school, you go, oh Jesus, yeah, you can't just have like 14-year-old kids with 8-year-old kids and nobody's looking at you, got all the stuff that goes on. You go, oh Jesus. That's why they all end up messed up, like politicians and all that. You go, oh, they've got some weird fetishes from stuff that's happened at
it wasn't
school.
I mean, maybe there was. I didn't know.
Yeah, I remember
any
saying
like sexy times or whatever, any like abuse. No, but there was like, people used to get bashed up all the time.
Yeah.
Like bashed up the whole time. And like used to, like rob people and stuff.
Rob them for what? They're all posh. What?
Well, no, food, cigarettes. Cigarettes.
Right,
There was like a big cigarette. There's black market cigarette trade, and like as I said, people like used to have to stash them and stuff. They used to have stash rooms, and like because they couldn't keep it in their room because they get like robbed,
right?
And so like it was a whole thing. It was like a whole little thing, and like So, and we used to try and track down where they were stashed, and then we'd like follow people around and you'd rob them, and like, yeah. So,
any education going on at the time?
not really. It wasn't really.
Mainly theft.
That wasn't really. Yeah. We were just going down the gym and just stealing stuff. So.
I was saying to this morning to somebody, we're going to Windsor for a dinner, and first time I went to Windsor, like Eton, obviously right near it, and some kids came in, and no word of a lie, the first time I was there, I thought they were dressing up. I thought they were from like Harry Potter or something like that, the way they were dressed in like 3-piece suits or something like the tails. And she went, no, that's what they wear at school. I was like, what? I thought, oh my God, like I thought this looks like something from the Victorian era. I thought they were dressing up from a film or something. And I left school thinking, I wouldn't wear that to a wedding.
If you ever go through Eton, I think I've been through once or twice, you're just like, what the hell's everyone doing?
What year is this?
It's a circus in town. What's going on?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, he looks like a circus leader with his red top. Do you have a big public boarding schools in the Nordic countries?
We have private schools.
No, private schools, sorry.
But not really.
Yeah, it's not a big thing.
Some of the schools are some international schools, and then there's ones. What do you call it? I think like Steiner school. Like it's a bit more different style of teaching. I think it's like from Switzerland, Germany, like which is like more creative.
Yeah.
But that's a private school though.
Oh.
But most of the schools are pretty good
anyway.
International schools, we do have a few of those where it's like either people are from different places and then they send their kids to
I suppose.
Baccalaureate and all that.
Yeah, but it's not boarding schools. That's not a big thing.
Yeah.
But
they should definitely mix schools. You've got to. The standard will never go up unless you get all the rich people having to go with the poor people. Because poor people don't write letters of complaint.
I think people have a right to educate their children anyway.
Yes, 100%.
But then you do get a 2-tier system. Why not push it all into one system?
Yes, but then you are paying those people who do choose to pay do pay twice because they are still paying taxes and then they are paying to go private.
But everyone's paying taxes. It's all a percentage.
Yeah, but then there is a free place. They're not free place, but then there is a place there because it's like so it's one of the arguments for private healthcare. I agree that yes, it can create a division.
Yeah, well, it does. It's not the can.
And you sort of then end up, if you
you go that way and they go that way.
Yeah, well, you go to the VIP lounge.
Yeah, exactly.
And slum it.
Turn left on the plane and the other one.
Well, that's what you pay for.
Yeah. But I think with stuff like education or whatever, you should have it's human right to sort of educate your kid to how you want.
See, straight away, I don't like that.
Like, if you want to...
Because some people want to, but I can't afford it. What do you do?
But you still have, like, that's what I like about Norway or Sweden. Like, it's still a good system.
Yeah.
Like, it's still, you get the right education. Yeah. And if you're doing really well, yes, you get maybe a little bit more, like, to do and or level up a bit. But still, it's like, doesn't matter where you're from. Like, you still get to go to the same school and learn the same things. It's not classing but if you go to
segregating kind of people,
segregating. Yeah, thank you.
And I could see both ways, and I do see, yes, you are. It's like with sort of healthcare, you know what I mean? The argument against private healthcare, to the dual system we sort of have. We have the NHS and you sort of private healthcare. Well, you actually then end up underfunding the public option because people will just go private, and then that becomes then the safety net. And then it becomes like sort of, well, I was going to say like it is in America, but like it is now in this country, where you end up having to wait 15 hours in A&E, 20 hours in A&E. But then I still think that you should have a choice. Be able to
I'm not saying you should.
If you want to pay, then you should still.
But then you go, the benefits of having two systems is this. And the downside of having the two systems is this. And you go, right, what's the bigger thing here? Because definitely you shouldn't have the big problem there. It's good to have the benefit of the second tier system, but it creates a much bigger problem. You don't need that. But those need help. Like the NHS is the same thing. Once you start splitting it off, it just naturally goes its own way. And like schools, then you're going to have, here's a normal school with 40 kids in it, and there's a private school with 20 kids in it. You go, well, yeah, you're pushing people apart on a pathway. You shouldn't have to be able to, it shouldn't be pay-as-you-go schooling.
But I mean, if we like using the example of sort of healthcare, if we got rid of private healthcare completely in this country, and so it's just all the NHS. Do you think that standards would go up or down?
I'd say go up. You're going to ruin that.
No, I'm curious.
Well, they have to go up. Because rich posh people with lawyers
They
won't
go
accept.
abroad. They go abroad.
Oh, so,
they
yeah,
fly
but if you go, okay, if
Go
you're
to
going
Switzerland.
to go down.
Yeah, they'll go abroad. No, they go.
No, but not for general
They go France.
stuff.
They go private clinics
Yeah.
abroad. So this is
No,
the thing.
that's for specific.
So the
things.
very rich people still can do that, and then you're still, you're just stuck with long waiting lists. And if people want to,
No,
pay
I think
to
it's
sort
still
of-
they're not going to be running overseas because they've hurt their foot or they've cut their foot open on them.
No.
But that's generally, you're going to go overseas, but that's very specific. As a general rule, if you have all the rich people going to go to the same hospitals. The MPs have to go to that hospital. The lawyers have to go to that hospital. CEOs have to go to the hospital. It will change, but it's just common sense. As soon as you go right, you lot there, that one's always going to be a lot worse, and the benefits don't outweigh having everybody together. I think that's much better. It naturally improve.
No, I'm not sure.
not that there's
I'm
no
not sure of the
benefits.
answer here, but is
No,
there-
I am. I want the Prime Minister to have to go to the same hospital as the little old lady who hasn't got a job, and then see if they put up with the stance. See if it doesn't change once those people with lawyers and who write letters and are middle class. The system will change because they're there, because they won't put up with it. The problem is you've got no money. You do put up with stuff, so it becomes stagnant because you haven't got time to start writing letters because you're trying to juggle help with money and things like that.
But is someone paying to do something in the private hospital that then frees up a bed in the NHS?
No, everything you're saying is right, but it's little things.
I'm playing devil's advocate because
No, that's what I'm saying. There's lots of little things you could benefit. You could say all these little things, but I'm saying but if you look at just the negatives that come with that, they're so vastly outweigh. There's no need for you to have a private, but having that private thing creates a massive problem over here because you just can't face the fact that people that are poor can't fight the system as much. So it just becomes we don't have to do anything.
I'm pretty certain this is still the case because I checked a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty certain it's still the case. There is no private emergency care. So if you're in an accident, you're in a car accident or whatever, or I don't know.
Oh, see, you mean they have to go to
say
the
a piano
yeah,
or something or whatever. You're not going to the
You still
private
have to go,
private
yeah.
A&E.
Yeah, it's another little
You're
flaw in
just
the plan.
going into
Yeah.
the A&E
Yeah.
and like dealing with that because they don't have the facilities there. My grandpa often said, and again, don't know whether this is the thing, but he said that when you're in a NHS, he said, well, he didn't really agree with the private bit necessarily, but he said that you should maybe have the option. He said that possibly you could have the option of upgrading your room. So if you wanted a private room, you'd still be in the same hospital, but if you wanted, I just want a separate room, don't want to be in a ward, you could pay a little bit. And then give you
But that's
a
the
room.
door open then. That's it. That's now you've created a second tier system.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't. You should have wards. We should have double the hospitals and it shouldn't be crammed. But it's not going to go there because the people that are in those places don't fight against those things. So even if like your cancer treatment, no, you should have to go to that hospital. That billionaire should have to go and sit in that hospital, and it will change. Just come back 20 years later and see if it hasn't changed miraculously, and MPs haven't been voting for it and all like that. But it's just abuse. People haven't got time when you've got no money to fight these things, so it becomes like that.
And when you're ill, you're desperate as well. Like when people are ill, and when you're in A&E, you're just desperate. If you're in A&E, usually there's something bad.
And it's only going to get worse, by the way. So it will prove its point over time. There could be another tier, like a billionaire tier, where it's just like, now I've got my own hospital at the end of the street.
I'm not going to get because
Two-tier systems of anything don't work because money
it-
gets involved. You're splitting people up. That it's naturally doesn't work.
You should go to Norway. Try the system there.
Was that British sarcasm?
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
Good.
No, in a
Yeah,
good
but
way.
I hear good things.
In a good way.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you do pay a lot of taxes, but
Yeah.
still it goes to a good thing. And yes, you have private ones, but it also the ones you actually have for like everyone
Yeah.
is really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who, like it is really good.
That's fine. If it was like that, that's no problem. Then you can have your two-tier special.
Yeah.
But if the one system's horrendous because nobody fixed anything and the other system's great, that's
well,
I was saying this the other week with that chap who's here, the foreign policy chap, the international relations guy.
no.
A couple of weeks ago.
Okay. On the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Piotr.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, and yes, I think we need to have a conversation in this country, England,
Yeah.
UK,
Yeah.
sort it out. Yeah, Starmer.
Yeah, they're all
get on
listening
it. Starmer,
now.
get on it, mate. Yeah. But I think we need to have a conversation about what type of society we want. And to be honest, if we want these public services, if we want stuff like the NHS, it costs money, and you're going to have to pay through taxes.
Yeah.
and that might mean increasing
true.
taxes. If you want like a decent police force, if you want a decent education system, if you don't want like feral TikTok kids tearing up cinemas with chicken jockey, whatever, if you want things actually in place and like decent civil society, like in some countries.
Yeah, it's not one problem. There's a massive
across the channel
and the system.
Across the pond.
The system itself is pissing money out where it doesn't need to be. So it's like a multiple problems. It's not just about how much money you put in. Where's that money go? I remember when I was working for John Lewis, we went to deliver some mattresses. I think it was 22 mattresses, like a whole lorry full, from John Lewis. I said, why have you ordered these for like the hospital? It just wasn't a private hospital. And they come from John Lewis, single mattresses from John Lewis. Like 200 quid a pop. Anyway, go on.
But I'm just, I think if we want these things, if we want a decent functioning society, it's going to cost money. And like that might affect the economy a bit, and they might affect the
people don't mind paying for things
if
you get your money back.
I would like a decent functioning society over a wealthy society. I mean, obviously I don't want to be an impoverished society, but I mean, we are still, whatever, 6th, 7th richest country in the world. Well, I'm not seeing much of that.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like,
well, it shows. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
America has poverty. You don't think the richest country in the world has horrendous poverty levels in certain cities. You go, well, that just shows something. It's all, and
well,
it's
this country does. This country. But you take London out of the equation.
Yeah,
like genuine. You take London out of the equation.
The financial centre.
Most of the country is like huge sections of the country are poorer than most poor places. In like we're like rural Appalachia, like the poorest places in America. That's kind of what like the West Country is.
When going back to Windsor, when I was at Windsor the first time, having dinner there, and you've literally got the castle wall there, and people lying on the streets there, like 100 yards apart. And I thought, this is the world, like schizophrenic sort of. You've still got castles, like actual castles.
And a king lives there.
Okay, yeah.
With a fair enough, you got.
I said before, I was there having a dinner. I ruined it because I was right there, and the wall was right there at the restaurant. And then it just looked like a wall. Like in my head, it was like a museum. And then somebody turned a light and opened the window at the top, and I thought, oh, there's a human being in that bloody great big wall, and there's people on the floor there, literally, because they've got a bad problem in Windsor. But that's where we live. Is that schizophrenic society of like. We're trying to fix things, but not. You've got this thing called a royal family and kings and queens. Meanwhile, you're talking about poverty over here.
Don't need it. Get rid of it.
We have it in Norway as well. So Sweden.
You haven't got a royal family?
Yeah, we do.
I love that you haven't got a royal.
I think Denmark. Yeah, Denmark have got a royal family. Because don't they go to
Sweden, Norway, and Denmark? Yes.
I think I read an article where they go to work on like a train and things like that.
That's the Dutch.
Yeah,
I know the Dutch royal family famously.
Yeah, they're quite.
Yeah,
okay.
Queen Beatrice used to cycle everywhere.
I think that was
she used to cycle everywhere.
Bless her.
Yeah, and just like sometimes with some guards, sometimes not, and like that was her thing.
Right, let's think of something light. Have you got any good stories? Anything nice to talk about? What's going on? Oh, we work. Well, okay. You
work.
Yeah,
who works anymore?
We'll keep it light.
I nearly did a jury duty.
Yeah, it didn't work out, unfortunately.
I nearly did.
Have you ever done jury duty?
I actually haven't.
No, never been invited.
I would love to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to watch somebody caged. Oh, no.
But I've heard like good and bad stories about people that have done it like before.
Yeah, I suppose it depends what your personality is. Yeah.
No, it depends on
I don't want to cage a human being.
It can be traumatic.
Yeah, it can be done like that, or you're really stuck in it.
Because I say there's a sad story behind every crime, to be honest, and some of them are really sad. You know what I mean? And like, I was a bit like, oh god, don't give me anything with like abuse or sex crimes or like.
Hard to see clearly with that sort of stuff.
Kids being involved, I just like, bleh. I was like, oh god.
Well, talking about
because I I take that home and like it's just it would stress me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was down for a 7-week trial, serious trial. I don't know what it was. I've been looking in the papers, couldn't find it anyway. And they stitched me up. The CPS stitched me up, which is a shame because I'd love to have done it because that is the closest I've ever wanted to get to a court proceeding, basically.
No, I don't see. I've been in court, so that smell of the wood and all that's like, oh god, it's like going into a hospital. Nothing good happens here. It depends on the mentality you're coming from.
Yeah.
It makes me feel sick. It'd be like going to the dentist with walking in that woody smell and the dusty.
So as it was, I spent a week in a waiting room that was like an A&E waiting room.
Yeah.
Basically. Nothing there. Clock on the wall.
What part of this process?
Well, I was just waiting. I was waiting to be called. I was waiting to be called up. I
thought this was all done by letter. So you actually had to go and spend time somewhere.
Because I literally had to turn up. They go, right, you've got to turn up at
for the selection process
at the court 9 a.m. whatever on Monday. So I turned up. Took me 45 minutes, 50 minutes to get through the security.
Yeah,
they ain't messing around.
Yeah,
they say airport security.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm assuming. No. Because like this is way beyond airport security. Like Gatwick, they don't give a shit. Like, they got lax at Gatwick. You know what I mean? So this was like, I'm assuming, I've never visited the prison. I'm assuming this is like where you're going with the prison, because they were like, I had a book. They were going through the book, like looking for stuff. You know, if I slotted anything in there. I had a bottle of water. They made me drink the water. Right. Yeah. Take a big gulp and then swallow it. I took some hand sanitizer in. That was a big no. Oh no!
I took a bar of soap in. They said, "What are you doing with that, mate?"
And a towel.
Yeah.
But it was like anything. It was like anything.
Towel around your neck, ready for how long am I here for?
But like, and like my umbrella, they went through the whole bit of the umbrella looking for stuff, and they're like, "Oh, people put drugs in it," and I'm like, God,
it's insane.
It's a house of crime. You weren't
like
going at the podcast.
They went through all my keys and stuff. Having a look. I don't know whether they were being pricks. I don't know. These guys, they kind of were pricks, so maybe they were just being pricks. But like.
No, I think they're doing it for they learn
experience.
You live and learn, and that's what. Yeah.
No, I get that. But it was really interesting, and you could just tell all the barristers as well because they just look like nerds.
They're all working upright.
No, because
we do love a nerd, don't we?
Well, it's fine. I love my nerds. You know, part of the nerd culture. It's fine. But but like identify as a nerd. But it's fine. But yeah, you could just tell that because they just come in and be like, all the jury people and all the families of the stuff, we all looked a bit like ropey, just waiting around,
just left the market.
Everyone having a fag, the cute stuff, and like everyone look a bit ropey. And then you see these like smartly dressed nerds in like a suit with a big briefcase, and I'm like, barrister.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, blimey.
Yeah.
Did you have any? Nothing happened then?
No. It was a bit disappointing.
I was just waiting for more.
But you went.
I said I nearly had a good story.
But you had to go there every day for a week.
Yeah.
That's weird. That.
Yeah, until the whole thing collapsed.
Oh, it's funny talking about searching. We'll end on this, because when I worked in the club, it was funny because I had sympathy for them, because what people try and get away with when they don't sneak things in. When they sneak things in, they don't put them in their pockets. No. They know over time, and people have learned they stash them places where you don't think there's going to be. So you have to look. And you've probably caught short a few times, so now you have to over-exaggerate. Like with drugs, most drugs that were brought into the club, they're in cigarette packets. And what people do is they cut half the cigarettes and pull them out and put the drugs down. So you have to tell people to take the cigarettes out of the packet. But to them, they're going, "What? Why am I taking all the cigarettes out of the packet? Oh, for God's sake." You go, but you haven't seen that's where they don't put them in the pocket and, I've got to stick it here. No, they hide them. So when I got stabbed by it with a pen, it was a knife. But it was a blade on top of a big pen, so that you pull the lid off and there's a blade on it. But so you'd have to, if somebody had a pen, you'd have to say, "Can I see the pen?"
That's some prison shit.
No, people would go, "Oh, what bloody pen? What am I going to do with the pen?" You go, "I can't be bothered explaining it to you. Like, you don't. This is what we do. I'm not doing it for no reason." People hide stuff, and because a lot of the posh people, they would buy suits, but the suits would get made with secret pockets in them. Yeah. Like posh people, that's where you'd get drugs, because they'd have the bespoke suit. Yeah. And they'd have a little thing stitched
stash
in.
Pocket. Yeah.
Oh, that was quite normal. Like in the posh club, they would have it like built into the arm, a little pocket, so you knew to check the.
It's like the female prisons, like they have to search you everywhere. Yeah. No, but places you can hide stuff is insane. Yeah. How far they would go and like what you could find as well is
see, that's the problem. It's disgusting, but you go, but that's where the stuff hidden. Do you want to keep the place? Yeah. I never cared about drugs. I really didn't care. Like they're supposed to do the cigarettes. I didn't do it. I thought knife. No, but
that's tiny blades. You would a
little corner of a blade. You can't, and you're not going to stop it. So it's not really, but you have to do it. Like, what are you going to do? Somebody gets in because you didn't search them, but then people that searched get complained. You go,
I know people are going to be really loved up, aren't they? Be like, "Oh wow, look at it. Oh, this water bottle feels great."
When people are on drugs, the raves and things, they were great. Because it was just
good old days.
Nobody was fighting. I can remember the era it came in. It was after 2000s. The mood changed. It's like, it was like when hip hop and rap and everyone started to look moody and it became less of a party atmosphere in nightclubs and it became about, I'm just going to go and stand around and look tough. It was, I can remember it changing. When was the last time you've been in a club, Charles? Went on this one? Nightclub, when was the last time you queued up?
Nightclub?
Yeah, long time ago.
When was COVID?
Oh, it wasn't that far ago. I think it was about 20 years ago.
Oh, no.
Gosh.
I don't get out much.
No? When was the last
late night. I go to bars. I don't like
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. What was the last club you queued up to, stood in the queue? Over years ago.
I think, well, we kind of did it for my birthday. Me and my friend, we kind of did it.
Recently? When was the birthday?
25th of December, people.
Okay.
I hate it.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me and baby Jesus.
Yeah.
It's family.
Oh, well, it sort of works. Yeah. Your parents must have been well happy.
Yeah, my mom was super happy being in labor on the 24th. Well, like, we celebrate on the 24th.
Right.
To begin with. So she was in, I think I was the worst pain. So I have like 8 siblings as well, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm number 8, but it's like 9 kids. Yeah.
Enough of you'd worn off at that point.
Yeah. But anyways, we went out for our birthdays. So I hate celebrating my birthday, but I turned 30 and my good friend, she was like, let's do it together. I was like, yeah, sure. Her birthday was in January. So yeah, we ended up booking a place and then we went to this salsa place after, which is quite nice.
It's not a nightclub, really.
It kind of was because it had 2 different floors, different, like it was more reggaeton, heavy, blah, blah, blah. And the other one's like, basic stuff, classic, old school. But we had to stand out there and wait for a while. And the security guys was very like, we have to scan your ID and everything. Like,
Yeah, I remember the scanning thing came in. What a pain in the arse that was. I should have left clubbing when they brought in the cigarette. The amount of grief that caused. That day that it stopped, you can't smoke inside for the next 2 years.
I think
nobody.
I don't know. Like, I loved old school like Hollywood movies where they were like smoking a cigarette and look cool
Before cancer was around.
But
it was fun. Yeah.
I spoke to a mate of mine and he kind of wanted to open up like a bar or a pub where you would be allowed to smoke inside now. I know it's not a healthy thing.
Can you not? You
You're
can't
like,
smoke?
what the?
No.
But,
The Grouch Show, could you smoke in there? You just can't.
No. I think there's the only exemption.
What about cigar shops?
Cigar shops are the exemption, but they're going to close that.
Oh, even that, right?
They're going to close
Yeah.
that. I was going to say, I watched Dunstan Checks In on over the weekend.
What's this?
It's about an orangutan who checks into a hotel with a bank robber. No, diamond for the thief, and chaos ensues.
Is this an animated thing?
It's not. It is a 90s kids film, and it's a mid-90s kids film.
Right, okay, like Disney.
I don't know why I don't watch
some poor bloody orangutan that you think it's happy.
No, but the orangutan's cool because the orangutan's cool.
The orangutan's cool. I don't think you were. No.
What?
How can that orangutan be happy? It doesn't know it's on a film set.
It's a little baby orangutan.
Somebody told me when they want to make them speak, they put loads of salt on their lips.
He didn't do it. He didn't do any of that.
They don't want to touch.
No, he didn't do it.
Okay.
But what I was saying is because in a 90s kids film, everyone was smoking indoors. I mean, in a hotel indoors, everyone was just chain smoking.
Yeah.
And this wasn't like the 80s or the 70s. This was like mid 90s. You know what I mean?
I don't think it should have been banned. I think you could have places where it's allowed and not a smoking bar, and let just the world figure it out.
I think you should have the choice to.
This club has smoking.
Opt in or opt out.
Like a vegan restaurant, meat restaurant. I don't like you're not smoking anywhere.
Or have a horrible, dirty smoking room or something.
Yeah, like a smoking area.
Indoors, but have a ventilated thing. Some places still.
So if you don't want to sit in there, you can't. You don't need to.
You sit in like a glass cage.
But they
people laughing at you as you walk.
At airports, though, some airports have that
smoking lounge
room inside because
even now.
Yeah.
I know you could smoke on planes.
I don't remember where, but it was.
I haven't seen one for a long time.
No.
In England?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember which airport, but I just remember being there and there was a room and they were smoking inside. Which is but there's nowhere else to go out. You can't go out.
Go stand in that cancer room.
I have to say, on the way here,
with all the toxic chemicals.
I was coming through Kentish Town and I stopped and it was at the lights and there was 2 women smoking outside a cafe and they were smoking cigarettes and I thought, oh, that's quite nice.
How quaint.
When I see that, I think, oh, well done. Like you're holding on. Like you haven't gone for the. And I'm not telling you. I genuinely thought, oh, there you yeah. She still, like, she doesn't care. No, I'm being me. Probably in a band.
Probably in a band.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. There we
Rock
go.
and roll.
There we go. Full
That is the
circle.
last stand of like
Stereotypes here, huh?
Yeah.
No. See.
Right, so there you go. Chrome, you're off on holiday this week, so we're off for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Yep.
just back to Turkey, some sunshine action. So
Is it one of those Turkey where you're going to relax, or are you going to be working?
I'm just gonna relax for like
you
10,
are?
11 days.
Which part of Turkey?
Istanbul and actually southwest coast as well.
Oh, you're travelling around.
So yeah, we're gonna travel around.
Oh, lovely. You celebrate Easter in Turkey, didn't you? You do the egg thing. We break the eggs on each other.
Not really.
No, I thought that was a thing.
Not really. There's a minority who actually celebrates it.
Oh, okay, right.
I did celebrate. I went to an Italian high school in Istanbul, so I
Yeah.
celebrated it.
Oh, yeah, maybe saying you got
so
the best.
I had loads of
Lots of
holidays,
holidays,
Turkish
yeah.
holidays, Italian holidays. It was the best.
Love it.
I never went to school.
Did you do it with the head then? Because that's how they do it in Italy. They crack the egg with the head.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Not really.
no. It's a thing. Like, yeah.
Probably.
Italian.
No, in the sense of no, we didn't do that
Okay,
in the
right.
school. Probably.
Yeah.
We would have been punished.
Oh, okay, lovely. We'll have a lovely time. So we'll be back in March, I think. What's the date now?
March.
Yeah. January, February, March.
It's April.
April, May.
May.
Dyslexia.
I was thinking that's a long hiatus.
I mean, everyone keeps saying we lost. Like, it's like what happened to January? Like
Well, it
went
speeds
so
up,
quick.
doesn't it?
It went so
Everything
quick.
speeds up, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like April now.
It feels so strange. Like time would just goes by so quickly.
Well,
By the way, I actually brought something for you guys.
Oh, yeah,
If
what?
you want to do? So these are
I
like
was hoping it's going to be chocolate.
it's chocolate.
So where are these from?
Oh, I should-
Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Share it.
He doesn't want any.
Yeah, I can share. Yeah. So I want no, but yeah. So
where's this from?
It's Marabou, so it's Swedish. Technically Norwegian, but it's called Freya. But they kind of bought it up in Sweden, and then this is Swedish, but it's basically the same ingredients.
So I spoke to you before, and I can't remember. We was talking about that Freya,
Freya,
which is, how do you explain it? What is it? It's
Norwegian chocolate.
no, the thing we have a break.
Was it fika?
Yeah,
That's Swedish.
It's
So it's like you have a coffee, you have
Yeah.
something sweet. It's like, let's go and have a fika.
yeah, okay, right, yeah.
There's these two guys explaining it through a song. It's
Yeah.
really basic, but they're on YouTube, and like, it's just like a simple way of explaining it. They just have like some Swedish treats, like
Yeah.
it could be a cinnamon bun, and then you have a coffee or something hot to drink, and you're just out to have a fika. I love it.
I was
love it.
stood in the street
Like
waiting.
afternoon tea kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like that, but nicer.
I was
Not as posh.
I was stood in the street when I was
Yeah.
waiting for somebody, and there's two girls eating the chocolate, and I said, "That's Swedish chocolate." She went, yeah, I said, "I've heard of Swedish." I said, "Can I have a bite?" And she said, "Yeah." Again, this is
Yeah.
I don't mess around. I'm being
Yeah.
polite.
Yeah.
I said, "Can I have a bite?" Because I'd already heard about it. I'm not going to buy it, and she was there, and
Yeah.
they looked quite friendly. So and she went, "Yeah," and she was telling me that they are known for being. She said, "But you can't buy Swedish chocolate here. It's got to be Swedish chocolate." And it was really nice. It was like
No, you can buy it here.
no, it had like honey hazelnut or something in it. So when I thought that is really nice, so I looked online and you can get it, but it was like £7 for a bath. I'm not doing that.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
over here, or in.
It had to come from Sweden. It
yeah,
was a
okay.
Swedish name. I can't remember the name of
Oh,
it.
is it the one you showed me? I
did
think you
say
showed
it
a
to
picture.
you.
Yeah.
I'll send you the picture.
Yeah.
So it was that, but you had to get it overseas.
Yeah.
But no,
No, but you guys need to taste it now.
actually I was going to not be
and
polite.
give some. Yeah. Oh, he wants some. Sharing is caring. Like.
You don't even need sugar, Theo. So
Yeah, I only brought two because that's what I had. Like, I'm so sorry.
Every time I open something, I break it.
So you should kind of. No, you need to try as well.
Charles, what are you thinking? What's going through your head?
Charles.
Is it soft? Does it dissolve
That's
well?
very nice. It has a very quite high cocoa.
Look at his hand.
ratio.
It's got what?
It's
Quite a
I
high
need to see
cocoa
your-
ratio, I believe.
High-
I would say.
I need your
It
opinion.
smells nice. You know when you put it in your mouth, it smells nice.
It's nice. It's different from English chocolate. Yeah.
It's very different. If
It's a more
English
refined
chocolate
taste.
kind of feels like a little bit of mix of air and sugar.
It's like cooking chocolate. It's harsh. Like it's not.
Yeah. Sorry.
Which is nicer than American chocolate, I'm saying.
Yeah. You're like.
No,
Did you
because
buy
they-
these in a pack?
So normally, no, those are just small ones you
I
can
was
buy
going to say, these weren't
separately.
expensive, were they?
No, but normally you have like big chunks that you buy. But I found these, and these are quite cute. So it's simpler to kind of give away.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Lovely to
Karem? Oh, he's already swallowed it. It's just gone.
Nice.
But you finished work, so she's like starving.
That's it. That's what I get. No, okay. No, but I always, growing up, you always should bring something.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, not expect, but bring. So.
Well, thank you very much.
Just a tiny thing.
So this is your intro show. This is the first time we got to see you in full effect. How was it? It's lovely.
It's been nice. It's been lovely. I have no idea what I basically walking into, but or what will happen. But yeah, you guys are great.
Oh, thank you very much. So we'll let Karem go home to his wife that's about 100 miles away. So we'll be back March, April, May after we our photo shoot. So we'll see you then, and Karem, have a lovely holiday, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
to get to know ya. 이미 시작된 걸